come to the art factory and you might discover for the first time that you have a talent. You have talent and you want to explore. This is the place. This is the place to build. This is the place to try things like you've never tried before. The art factory is about self-creation too. So you get to discover your inner talents. And we create this platform for many different creatives with tools and great community. The Art Factory has so much to offer. Filmmakers call this great production value, a combination of raw, unfinished spaces with rock walls, incredible texture, like this metal door behind me offers so many cool different backdrops for either your event or your film, or even act as an inspiration if you have a studio here. No other space can offer so many different looks, from finished spaces with clean, beautiful sheer fabric hanging from rafters when you're walking down the aisle, to this incredible vault with rock walls and engine room with tons of texture and brick walls, European courtyards with cobblestones. It's a huge portfolio of different looks, from brick to rock walls to cobblestones to big lofts with tall windows and cathedral ceilings, vaulted ceilings, beautiful staircases, fire escapes. There's so many different incredible looks to draw from, to draw your inspiration from. An incredible backdrop for film or event. I think anyone could do something incredible here with very few props. Very little has to be done to make this space look incredible.
My name's Carlos Montoya. I'm from Paterson, actually born and raised in Paterson. I am now the chef here at the Hamilton Mercado, here inside the Art Factory. It's a project that we started here a couple months ago, and really the intent with it was, or the purpose was to do something positive for the community here inside the Art Factory with all the creatives and all the artists and all the people that are coming through here. And it's really grown. I think the community's really taken to us, and what I'm finding is an enormous amount of outpouring and support for what we're trying to do here. So we're pretty excited about it. When it comes to challenges, as a young entrepreneur, and when you look at a business, every day I think you're faced with challenges, but I think it's just really focusing on what is it that you can control and just pushing through and just taking that one step forward as opposed to overanalyzing it and then just drowning in it. For us, the support that we've gotten here has really helped us with that transition and really made opening the restaurant pretty easy venture for us so far. The reaction that I always see from guests here when they come in, they don't know what to expect. They really don't know what to expect, and I like to think it's a little box of surprises, and it's something that us from the inside, we're really controlling everything that a guest is seeing, smelling, tasting. Like the whole experience is really what we focus on. The food is just there as a vessel, but we look at this as a stage, and every night it's a production for us, and every night we're really looking to have people come in and be blown away. What we really look to offer is we just focus on ingredients. We focus on finding the best ingredients that we can on a global scale. We also look at just simple cooking technique. The name of the restaurant, you know, really pays tribute to the building. It pays tribute to the history of Paterson, you know, to the history of Paterson in this country. It refers to Alexander Hamilton, you know, in the history here, you know, going back to, you know, mid-1800s, where they saw a vision here, and they built these amazing buildings, you know, that are still here. The trains that were going west, you know, when they were saying, "Go west, young man," the trains were coming out of here. They were getting built here, you know. The cowboys and the Indians, that all came from Paterson. You know, they were making the guns here, you know, for the cowboys to go across the country and defend those trains. You know, all of that came from Paterson, you know, beside the textile and everything else. So the Hamilton is really looking back at the past. I think it's really important to know where we came from, you know. It defines why people, I believe, were drawn to this city, you know, in the beginning. You know, there was always work, there was always prosperity here. And the Mercado is really looking towards that future, you know. So it really ties us in with our purpose, which is we just want to do something positive for the community. And as much outreach as we can get, we are definitely going to get and like go after it. So when I thought about why the art factory and why here, you know, and I look at the falls and you look at what's happening here, you know, you look at this corridor and I think that it should be designated a National Historic Area, right? Because it's unlike anywhere else in this country. But then you look at the falls and you look at how they've turned that into a national park, and you look at the amount of tourists that are coming in. You know, in observing this place, you know, last summer I would go to the falls and I would just see the buses coming in and I would see the buses going out, the buses coming in and the buses going out. And what I felt through experience was, if you go to any other national park in the country, those little towns around them, they're boom towns. You know, there's Hermes, there's Louis Vuitton. Like, they're communities that are benefiting from people that were coming in here, because we're just letting the money come into the community and then the money's just leaving the community. So as a community, we're not benefiting from it. So when you come in and dine with us, you're sitting in our kitchen. You're sitting, you know, right next to our dish station. But it's intentionally built that way, and it's intentionally designed that way to change your dining experience, you know, from what you normally know, where you're away from the kitchen. There's a disconnect, and with what we are looking to do, we want to have you as close as possible. You know, we want you to be in our home. You know, like I tell everybody, mi casa es tu casa. You know, so you're more than welcome to come in and sit and like break bread with us, and like we want to share food with you. We definitely want to give them new experiences. We want to give them new flavors, and we want to do it in a way that, you know, once you change the scenario, then I feel people are much more open to saying, you know what, I'm just going to go with it. I'm not going to worry about that the silverware doesn't match. I'm not going to worry about that, you know, I'm using a kitchen towel as a napkin. It's intentionally built that way so that we can just focus on the food and the sharing of the food. I think food is sacred, and I think once you're sharing it and you're really, you know, giving a person a new experience all around, it's transformative, and that's really what we try to do here.
Art Factory has given me an amazing platform to show my talent. There's so much opportunities here. There's so much lighting, backgrounds. It's just an amazing place, you know, which I would thank David and Donato for a great opportunity at the Art Factory. My name is David. The name of my company is Visionary Artists, and I've been a professional photographer for over 25 years. Starting with film and then going into digital photography. I'm a designer as well and a visionary. What I see on all my affairs and events is basically the image before I document it on digital files. I also design every album that I sell, and my partner does cinematic video. So together we're a team, and we're just basically going to tell you your love story the whole day. And you know, to us, it's not work. After doing it for so long, it's just, we love what we do, and it's enjoyment. The styles I see at weddings are basically almost anything goes. People now are into having themes on their wedding, especially the Art Factory. This place is more eclectic and very artsy, so it brings a little bit of the untraditional styles going on. You know, as far as fire pits and pizza trucks at your wedding and, you know, stuff like that, which most places don't do. Most catering halls are chandeliers and carpet. The Art Factory is completely different. It's more of an experience. You become a member here. You have use of the whole facilities, from wood shop to metal shops to making a music video if you want. It's just an incredible place. This building, group of building, or I should say campus, I believe there's 18 buildings. It's just amazing between the 18-foot windows, the beautiful light coming in, that's basically lighting me right now on our interview. I'm big into natural light photography, where I don't have to use a ton of artificial lighting. It's more flattering on people. There's a reason why they film movies here. There's a reason why HBO is here, NBC is here, West Side Story was filmed here, The Equalizer show was filmed here. It's like Hollywood East, and that's kind of the nickname of this place. You know, it's 12 miles from Manhattan. They get a lot of filming. The owner, it's been in the family, the owner's family for years. He used to play in the buildings here, and now he's having weddings. He was the first wedding, him and Donata, in the Art Factory. So that explains it. It used to be a rope factory, and it used to be connected to the water. Supposedly that's what I heard from the Great Falls right up the block. So very cool spot, you have to see it. What makes the Art Factory special for me is that when I come here, I know I'm working with everybody that I'm friends with, and it's a big team. If I need something, everybody who works here will help each other out. I can't emphasize that enough. It's kind of like one-stop shopping at the Art Factory. You have all your vendors here you need for your wedding. You have all your caterers here. We all help each other out for the bride and grooms to have the experience of their lifetime.
My name is Ed Rode, and I'm a custom woodworker. I design and build bespoke furniture here at the Art Factory. I had a studio in Fairfield, and I came to a disagreement with my landlord. And I had been working all by myself for a long time, well, 8 years or something like that, and I wanted to work with other people that, you know, did the same sort of thing that I did, because I was looking for the collegial atmosphere, and the Art Factory sounded good, and sure enough, it fits the bill. I just like the vibes of the building. I mean, I like the history of it, you know, the fact that it was hydro-powered for ever and ever. I mean, you know, canals were routed out of the Passaic River into a big long slit that returned and back to the river, and all along there were factories driven by power. And I mean, even the history of the building really fascinates me. You know, I've said, like, okay, but what happens in the winter when that water freezes? And then they had these giant coal bunkers to power the factories. I mean, if you've been up on the 4th floor, you've seen these enormous steel wheels. Well, they had giant leather belts on them, driving smaller rods that had leather belts on them to each individual tool. And the tool user would engage a clutch, and that leather belt would tighten up, and bang, the tool would operate. And when he wanted to turn the tool off, he'd disengage the clutch. I mean, the whole thing is just really cool. I like the concept of the place. People enjoy coming here for a visit because it's fascinating. It has a lot of background, and they're a little bit oohed and awed, you know, rather than walking into a totally industrial lot in a strip mall sort of factory space. This is a lot more fun to come and visit. And I've had people come here and just like walk around for a few minutes looking up and all over the place, and then we start talking, you know, how can I help you? What do you need? And I would like this, and then we just sit down with a sketch pad and start doodling until we come up with a cohesive design. And then it's up to me to incorporate structural integrity into that design to make sure it not only looks beautiful, but works. I like the fact that the falls are up the street. I've often, in the summertime, walk up and just sit there and have a bottle of soda and eat a sandwich and like just ponder the falls. I like the vibes of the place. I like the energy. I like all the wooden floors and brick walls, and I think a lot of toil was spent in this place. I hope more good than bad, but a lot of people put their blood, sweat, and tears into this joint, and I think it reeks of it. which is a very cool thing. I like that. And I like the people that work here. There's a couple maintenance guys that are just the salt of the earth, in my opinion. They're geniuses at keeping this place running. I mean, literally geniuses at mechanical and electrical and plumbing wise, and I don't know how they do it. But they're absolute gentlemen, and I like their company. And like I said, I like the collegial atmosphere in the shop itself with the other woodworkers. I hope it doesn't devolve into simply a wedding venue and a bar mitzvah venue. I hope it maintains its art factory heart.
Hey everybody, my name is Chris. I'm a photographer here at the Art Factory. I am located in Suite 320, that is on the 3rd floor. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey here. So my main focus at the Art Factory is primarily photography. I do video as well, and there's a fair share of that, but it's primarily one-on-one photo shoots with people. So dance, portraiture, I do headshots. Weddings are a very, very big thing here in the past few years. Engagement sessions that go right along with that. I've done product photography. There's a cyclorama room here that a lot of people don't know about. So if you need just an infinity wall to shoot a simple product against a white background, they have that here. And it's just an extremely versatile space. You can use natural light almost any day of the week. You could black out the windows and set up strobes or giant lights, and there's the room to do it. So that's why I like shooting here. When I was at the Art Factory 7 years ago, roughly, it was wide open space. They were just starting to put up studs and drywall for individual spaces, you know, because I have a space here now on the 3rd floor. That was all wide open, and it wasn't really set up for events like it is now for weddings and events. It was raw space. So you would bring in equipment up the freight elevator, and you know, the world was your oyster. You could set up anything you needed. They still do that now, but they'll usually like take down some event paraphernalia and set up for a movie or what have you, and then break that down and put the event stuff back up. So it's always a shape-shifting place. So there's always something going on here that is cool to see. I've been using the example lately of West Side Story because it's like a huge movie that people know of. And when they were building the sets for that, and I was walking around and looking at it, it was just amazing because you don't realize how much detail is in these things sometimes on camera. And then you go up to it, like they had a boxing ring that was designed, and it was like a legitimate boxing ring with like old canvas and handmade turnbuckle type things. And it was like there's a lot of craftsmanship that goes into everything here that, like I said, you may not see on camera because it's only a split second that they may show it. The Art Factory has gone, since I've been here, again, we're going to say about 6-7 years of me knowing where it was and having a space here. It's gone from raw space on almost every floor and every building to specific areas for events to still preserving the raw space mentality, because I'm sure a lot of people that scout, they want to come in and see something they could build out from essentially a raw space. So I see more, I see it every day with the amount of weddings. Like you can have 2 weddings here on a day, 3 weddings here on a day, depending on the size. So it's becoming more of a multi-use facility than I think it used to be, in terms of like, there's still big productions that shoot here, television series and movies, people still getting married here, you know, small, medium, and large weddings, and people know about it more each day because of social media, and you know, you figure a few hundred guests at a time for just one wedding go and tell their friends, and I was here and they filmed this movie here, isn't that so cool? So it's kind of like a wildfire, just it's going to get busier and busier and more things happening here every year.
Hello, My name is Chamomile Hickson, and it's a lot of fun to be here at the Art Factory. And this place is a wonderful point of inspiration for artists and for artisans and all sorts of interesting people who are here creating what they create. And I have to thank Frida, who's invited me. She came across my work. I'm a painter and an artist, and mostly a visual artist, I would say. And I was having an exhibition in New York City, and I was inviting people to the surface of Mars, where they could come into a space with sand and pretend that they had left Earth and were actually standing on the surface of Mars. And Frida came in, and we became fast friends, and she invited me to be one of the artists contributing to the art experience at the Art Factory. And it's been a pleasure so far. We've had a few different shows, and we're hoping to have many more. And with Donata and Frida have been so generous by offering some space here where I can make some of my larger works. And that's what's so wonderful about the Art Factory, is because there are large spaces for really large exhibitions, and that's very inspiring. So what I'm hoping to do is make really enormous glitter paintings, paintings of glitter of the surface of Mars, imagining what the surface of Mars will be like once it's terraformed and once it regains an atmosphere. And behind me over here is an example of one of the works. This is a small kind of case study for what I'm hoping to do, but the paintings will be more like, imagine this 8 feet across and 6 feet tall. So really immersive glitter paintings imagining the surface of Mars. And what I'd like to say also about art in general and the idea of bringing art to the community of Paterson and bringing art to the world, I mean, I feel that it's our job, each one of us who has consciousness has some creativity that they ought to transmit out into the world. And so what I'm hoping to do is really allow people to imagine their own freedom through the paintings that I make. And we know in the world right now that freedom is something that we should never take for granted. And here at Art Factory, there's a wonderful creative environment where people are encouraged to create things, and through that process, we get to know ourselves, we get to know one another, and hopefully we feel great freedom in the process. And so, thank you very much, and it's been a pleasure to be part of Art Factory so far. And I hope you stay tuned for all of the wonderful shows and immersive installations to come.